Welcome to the Beatles Talk Show for February 3rd. Here's some Beatles historical facts through the years. Well, the day the music died happened on this date, February 3rd in 1959. That is the day that Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Ritchie Valens were killed in a plane crash. Of course, huge influence on the Beatles. John Lennon and George Harrison, both massive Buddy Holly fans, and would cover his songs for years to come.
Yeah, sad day indeed. The day the music died, the song was written about.
On this date in 1961, the Beatles were performing a gig at St. John's Hall in Bootle.
Bootley say.
And they got a raise. They were paid a hefty £7.50 to play their gig tonight.
Wow.
So that's about approximately $13 American. And 1963 on this date, after one night, the Helen Shapiro Tour takes a rest, allowing the Beatles to perform a night show at the Cavern Club. And they headlined an 8-hour, 8-band rhythm and blues marathon.
They played a lot of shows. You know, as we go through this, I'm starting to realize how many gigs they actually played.
Yeah.
Like hundreds.
Well, it's all about
hundreds.
the music, right? It's about the audiences.
Yeah.
On the same day, the Beatles are scheduled for their own tour to begin in May, and they are now booked as co-headliners with Dwayne Eddy. And here's most interesting. On this date, EMI announces plans to tape the group at the Cavern Club for a live album.
So what happened with that? Did they tape
That's
it?
very interesting. I don't know if it happened, but obviously we know it never got released. That would have been quite the thing, right?
It would.
And we would have got a high quality album, so it's a shame that it didn't happen.
You've got me very interested now. I'm going to search this out. Did they or did they not record it?
Well, it's just that they announced plans to tape it, so I'm
Okay.
going to say that they probably didn't.
They probably waited till the Hollywood Bowl a year later. Yeah.
On the same day in 1964, the album The Beatles with Tony Sheridan and Their Guests was released in the US on MGM Records, and this featured My Bonnie and Cry for a Shadow, which Cry for a Shadow, you may know, that is the only song ever written by the team of Lennon and Harrison.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it's an instrumental. It's a
That's
very
right.
Instrumental.
So
yeah.
it showcased the talents of the band without any vocals.
Yeah.
On the same day, the Beatles performed 2 more shows at the Olympia Theatre in Paris, France.
Okay.
On this day in 1966, Paul McCartney went to see Stevie Wonder in concert in London and got to meet the 15-year-old genius backstage.
Interesting.
On this date in 1967, the Beatles were in the recording studio, and Paul re-records his vocal part for A Day in the Life as well as his bass guitar parts. And Ringo Starr re-records some of his drum parts for the same song, going after a different sound this time.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
On this date in 1968, the Beatles were in the recording studio recording Lady Madonna. And they overdubbed their bass, fuzz guitars, drums, and vocals.
Lady Madonna, children at your feet, wonders how you manage to make ends meet. I never did really like that song very much until I saw Paul perform it live in concert, and then I enjoy it now.
Good.
Yeah.
On this date in 1969, Ringo Starr began 13 weeks of filming for a major role in the movie The Magic Christian. Peter Sellers was the main star of that movie, but Ringo has a big part in it.
Do you own that?
I used to, yeah.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
On this date in 1971, John Lennon joins in a George Harrison recording session playing the piano, and they record some songs for George's upcoming 1973 album, Living in the Material World.
I remember having that one.
And sadly, on this date in 1973, at the Cavern Club, it is announced that following the last orders of the evening, the club will close its doors for business.
And this is 73?
And the manager says, "We've got to go. There's nothing we can do about it."
And you know why they did that? Because they knocked it down and they built a subway, not a subway, but subway ventilation system. Can you believe it? They knocked down a heritage site for that. So now, if you go to Liverpool, they actually rebuilt the Cavern Club exactly the way it was, but it's across the street, you understand? So it's not in the same place, but...
And finally, on this date in 1989, there was a 4-hour radio show called Meet the Beatles, the 25th anniversary. syndicated to radio across the United States in celebration of 25 years since the Beatles coming to America.
1989, and now that's 25 years later, or whatever. It's like, wow, time goes by fast.
Sure does. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, see you guys.
So my dear friends, come back when